Godzilla may be king of the monsters, but that doesn't mean plenty of contenders aren't lining up to take his crown. The title of Godzilla vs. Kong gives away one of his opponents, but I can't be the only one hoping for an all-out multi-monster brawl. So let's take a look at some of Godzilla's greatest foes, and why we could see them in the next film. King Kong is an obvious pick for an all-out brawl with Godzilla, and not just because his name's right there in the movie title. These two are classic titans. And while Kong doesn't have atomic breath, he's still a heavy hitter with a massive fan following. In fact, many monster movie fans are hoping for an homage to the classic film King Kong vs. Godzilla, in which Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla's throat. Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard even acknowledged a petition to include the scene in the movie, so join me in keeping my fingers crossed for that. We all know Kong has incredible punching strength, but Wingard wants to bring an emotional element to this famous movie monster. He said he wants fans to become emotionally invested in the characters, and hopes we all end up teary-eyed at the end of the movie. I'm not sure how I feel about a director trying to make me cry in a monster movie, but I'll pack some tissues just in case. He also warned fans not to count Kong out, claiming that this is an older, wiser, and stronger creature than we last saw during Kong Skull Island. What's better than one Godzilla? Two Godzillas, especially if one of them is made out of metal. Yeah, I'm talking about Mechagodzilla, a fan-favorite villain many of us are eager to see in the Monsterverse. And thanks to a suspicious toy leak, this may be more than just wishful thinking. In non-action figure-related evidence, we have the premise of the film, which talks about a human conspiracy that threatens the Titans. And since Mechagodzilla is clearly not a naturally occurring creature, this could be a hint about his involvement. Plus, during the credits of King of the Monsters, we saw an article entitled "Monarch Boosts Forces Around Skull Island," which claims Monarch is developing a mechanized giant on Skull Island. There have been a few different versions of Mechagodzilla over the years, but based on his name alone, you probably have a good handle on what kind of kaiju he is. A mechanized one. He's assembled to battle Godzilla, and in the film Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, he's actually a cyborg made out of the remains of the original Gojira. Mechagodzilla would be a great addition to showcase both the Titan's incredible strength and the fact that humans can be just as monstrous. Godzilla King of the Monsters may have set up one of the most powerful and underrated Titans out there, Destroya. It's possible that the arrival of Destroya will tie into a device we saw in King of the Monsters, known as the Oxygen Destroyer. This nifty gadget dates all the way back to the very first Gojira, and can be used to take out Titans, and pretty much anything else that breathes oxygen. It managed to wound Godzilla, but couldn't take my favorite monster down. At least not yet in this universe. The Oxygen Destroyer also appeared in the movie Godzilla vs. Destroya, where it caused microscopic aquatic creatures to mutate and become the creature known as Destroya. Since it was fired off in King of the Monsters, it's possible we'll see the consequences of this during Godzilla vs. Kong. Destroya grew rapidly once he got started, and was even able to hold his own against Godzilla at critical temperatures. Not only would we get a great fight, but we'd get one which we could blame on humans, which adds an extra level of complexity. In the Jurassic World franchise, scientists learned how to make an ultra-powerful creature by combining DNA from different species to create an Indominus Rex. Sure, it didn't really work out well for the patrons of the park, but there's no denying that this was one mighty monster. In the Godzilla franchise, we have Biollante, a creature which has DNA from Godzilla, a human, and a rose. Yeah, that last one's a little strange, so don't let his flower power fool you, because those corrosive tendrils can do a ton of damage. We talked about the King of the Monster credits revealing Monarch's mechanized giant, but the article also says they tried to create organic titans, which could mean they cobbled together a version of Biollante. Then there's the head of King Ghidorah from the same film, which was said to have regenerative capabilities, which is one of Biollante's best-known abilities. Maybe instead of making another Ghidorah, the team will get creative and end up mixing up this movie monster instead. Fans of this franchise know that sometimes these monsters have a message to deliver through their massive battles. Ghidorah is a cautionary tale about the dangers of pollution, which is sadly just as relevant today as it was back in 1971 when Godzilla vs. Ghidorah came out. He's a form of alien pollution, also known as the smog monster, whose arrival may have been foreshadowed by the oxygen destroyer I talked about earlier. Using this device damaged marine life, and its impact on the ecosystem could tie into the introduction of Ghidorah, the walking, flailing, fighting embodiment of the dangers of messing with the environment. The smog monster has been fairly underutilized so far, and I'd like to see an updated version growing from the pollution in Godzilla vs. Kong. Which monsters are you hoping to see clash with Godzilla in the upcoming Monsterverse movie? Share your pick with us and your fellow kaiju fans in the comments section down below, and then click subscribe for more videos from us here at CBR. As always, thanks a lot for watching.